In 1976, Germany witnessed one of history's most disturbing cases. Anneliese Michel, a devout young woman, became the subject of a prolonged and violent exorcism. Her tragic death would expose a horrifying intersection of religious extremism, mental illness, and failed medical intervention that continues to haunt us today. Anneliese Michel was born in 1952 to a conservative Catholic family in Klingenberg, Bavaria. By all accounts, she was a quiet, religious girl devoted to the church. But in 1973, her life changed forever when she suffered her first seizure during a religious pilgrimage. Medical doctors diagnosed Anneliese with temporal lobe epilepsy, a treatable neurological condition. Prescribed anticonvulsant medications, she initially improved. However, her deeply religious parents grew convinced that her seizures were spiritual rather than medical. They began to suspect demonic possession beneath the clinical diagnosis. Anneliese's seizures worsened despite medication. She began experiencing disturbing visions and hearing demonic voices commanding her to harm herself. Her parents, interpreting these symptoms as supernatural, discontinued her medications and sought permission from the Catholic Church for an exorcism ritual. In September 1975, the Vatican authorized Father Ernst Alt to conduct an exorcism. The priest believed Anneliese was possessed by multiple demons: Lucifer, Judas, Hitler, and even Fleischmann, a historical figure. The rituals began in secret, away from hospitals and medical supervision. For 10 months, Anneliese endured relentless exorcism sessions. The rituals were brutal, involving holy water, prayers, and violent physical restraint. Her family documented everything on audio recordings. Despite the church's intervention, her condition deteriorated rapidly as psychiatric symptoms intensified. Anneliese stopped eating during the exorcisms, losing dangerous amounts of weight. Witnesses reported her speaking in languages she'd never studied and displaying inhuman strength. Her family prevented hospital treatment, convinced that medical intervention would hinder spiritual deliverance. By July 1976, Anneliese was critically ill, barely conscious and refusing nourishment. The exorcism sessions continued mercilessly. Her parents and Father Alt remained convinced that demonic forces were responsible, attributing her physical decline to spiritual warfare rather than medical crisis. On July 1, 1976, Anneliese Michel died at age 23. Official cause: malnutrition and dehydration resulting from starvation during the exorcism rituals. An autopsy revealed no evidence of possession whatsoever, only a desperately ill psychiatric patient abandoned by medicine and family. The case immediately sparked international outrage. Autopsies revealed Anneliese was severely malnourished and her brain showed evidence of epileptic damage left untreated for 3 years. Her death was ruled as preventable and tragic, not demonic, but medical neglect disguised as religious devotion. Criminal charges were filed against Anneliese's parents and Father Ernst Alt for negligent homicide. The trial became a cultural flashpoint, pitting religious freedom against medical responsibility. Some viewed it as an attack on faith, others saw justice for a vulnerable woman failed by everyone she trusted. The defendants received suspended sentences and probation, remarkably lenient for contributing to a young woman's death. Many believe insufficient accountability was delivered. This case fundamentally changed how Germany regulates religious practices and protects vulnerable individuals from exploitation. Anneliese Michel's case raised critical questions that remain unanswered. How did religious institutions fail to recognize psychiatric illness? Why were medications stopped without proper medical guidance? Her death exposed systemic failures in protecting vulnerable people from predatory beliefs. Today, Anneliese Michel is remembered as a tragic victim of religious extremism and medical abandonment. Her case inspired documentary films and international recognition. Though she cannot be brought back, her story serves as a sobering reminder: faith should never supersede compassion, medical ethics, or human dignity.